bear with me for the time being. I'm gonna talk about shit. So yeah, let's go. I don't remember exactly the circumstances, but I actually started to watch some videos of people, discovering the game and stuff, and eventually it popped out in my recommendation on YouTube. I got to see a VTuber actually reacting to the character creation in Cyberpunk, and the person was freaking out, because of the famous genitals, right? It's kind of funny when I think about it. And actually, yeah, it was the first time I was kind of witnessing some VTuber action. I was not familiar with the concept at all. And this VTuber, if I remember correctly, I think it was Nyaners, and she was freaking out because of the character creation in Cyberpunk. And eventually, after that, I started to get some more recommendation on YouTube, of some VTubers content. And at first, it was Gura. I got a lot of suggested clips of Gura. I started digging a bit, which was my mistake because eventually I fell in the hole like hard. And and eventually then I discovered, and I think the beginning of my fall into the rabbit hole was literally because of the rabbit herself, Pekora. I remember watching the clip where she was playing Minecraft and she was trying to turn some villagers into zombie back to villagers to build some sort of trading center. And that's where I started to fall. And then eventually I found what I would consider to be my my oshi, if you will, uh, which was Miko playing GTA 5. I think it was in the story mode, and she was trying so hard to park a fucking truck, and she couldn't like maneuver the truck because it was so big, right? And she was making a ton of maneuvers with the truck, and she was getting stuck against the barrier next to the road or something. It was really funny. The clip was pretty long. And I remember thinking, dude, is she gonna make it? Is she gonna manage to do it? And I was just screaming and laughing at the same time. It was crazy. And I think that's, for me, that's the moment where I fell hard into the rabbit hole, you know. And that started from there. Because at this point, at this moment, it was early 2021, I think. And I was just a viewer, a newcomer into this universe, right? That was unfamiliar to me. And you know, there was a lot of things to process when I fell into the rabbit hole. Like, there was so many personalities, so many characters, and I didn't know. I was overwhelmed by the amount of information, the amount of people in this Hololive group that I was starting to discover. And I was completely overwhelmed. Yeah, so that's how it started basically. And well, I eventually, it took me some months, but I started to figure it out. I started to, you know how YouTube works, right? If you start looking at some content, it's gonna be on your homepage. Basically, there's gonna be more. There is always gonna be more, and the more you dig, the more there is to discover, right? And before I realized, I started to memorize all the names, all the information about everybody. And yeah, and before realizing, I was stuck in the rabbit hole. as a viewer, as an enthusiast, basically as an Hololive enthusiast. Yeah, that's where it begins for me. I wanted to be I wanted to get involved more than just as a viewer. I wanted to participate in this. I wanted to be a part of it, of this community, because I was seeing it. I was seeing the amount of sheer love and affection and passion that people had in this community. And as a simple viewer, I was wondering what I could do to be a part of this community, to bring my stone to the building. And back then I was stuck in my day job that I had before. I was working, really, I was working a lot, which meant that I didn't have a lot of spare time. And I was thinking of stopping everything and take 1 year or two to make music, because I've been making music for quite a while now, and I wanted to take a chance to produce my own shit. And then eventually I started to prepare for this, for going independent and working on my music. And at some point it just snapped. I thought, man, maybe there is something I can do involving music and a whole life. But I still didn't know at this moment. Back then I still didn't know what I was gonna do about it. So yeah, so roughly 1 year ago from here, from today, I left my job and I started producing my music. I went into this completely blind. It was kind of tough actually, but I really started to like put my hands in the dirt, and I started to make music. Basically, that's what I started to do. I've been playing guitar for a little while now. I've been playing bass and stuff, but I never actually took a serious chance to produce music, right? So this was the first time I actually got to put myself in front of the computer, plugging my guitars in, recording stuff, mixing it, mastering it, everything. That was the first time, right? It was just 1 year ago from here. And then I started to realize, okay, maybe there is one thing I can do that would involve my both my passion for music and my passion for all life. And that thing is maybe, you know, using vocal samples. So it begins like this. I was thinking, hey, there is this, this meme content, right? And there is so much of it. Like there is literal gold mines out there on YouTube. If you look for it, you can find it. There is this content that is so memeable. Like I'm not gonna make you discover anything, but the famous I'm die, thank you forever. It's me, Pekora, and so much more, right? And I thought, man, maybe there is something to do with this. It's already meme content, right? The vocal lines, the lines themselves, the catchphrase are already meme content. Now I can probably put this. I can probably bring this to the next level by making music around it. And that's how it started, basically. The first one I made, it was terrible. Let's be honest. It was just quality wise, it was horrendous. It was terrible. I'm very self conscious. I'm trying to not fool myself. And I took the small. I found the vocal sample of Pekora saying, "It's me, Pekora." I found the clip with no music, no BGM whatsoever, just the vocal sample, and I used it, and I started to make some metal behind it, and that was basically the first thing that I recorded. And I put everything together. I mixed it in a way that was not so good, basically, and I put it on YouTube, and that was the very first entry in my HoloMetal series, actually, and it was terrible, but yet I decided, okay, I'm up to something. I found something here that I might try to develop further. And it all started there, basically. So then I kind of reiterates a couple weeks later using using one of Rusha's screams. I feel bad because that's actually one of the videos. I mean, that's the all metal skit that has been seen the most. I think we are at this day. I think we are around 56, 57K views, which is it blows my mind every time, honestly, because it's so bad. Like the sound of it, the music, everything. It's so bad. Uh, I was a beginner. Okay, I'm sorry. I was beginning. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I was trying to figure it out. Right. Excuse me. My apologies. And still, I think it's amazing because there is so many people that actually listen to this shit. That's just crazy, crazy, crazy. And yeah, basically, from there I basically I continue to do it. I was having fun, and that's the important thing here. If you want to know what drives me really to do these all metal skits that I'm doing, the most important thing for me is really the fun factor there is into making this. I don't know, I don't hold accounts, but I think I've been doing like roughly 30, 40 all metal skits now. Uh, yeah, and I, you know, I had so much fun already. Like every time I have a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a bit complicated because of the mixing and shit. I'm not a mixing engineer, so sometimes I do struggle a lot to kind of deliver something that sounds decent enough to listen to. Sometimes it's a real hustle, but I still have fun, I still have fun, and I think when I read the comments, sometimes I love just looking at the comments because I can see you guys digging the idea, and like, I don't know. Sometimes it works wonders for some reason, and there is some kind of, dare I say, there is some kind of magic behind it. You know, uh, Not so long ago, there's been this the Calli Rage plus Metal Breakdown video that I've been releasing, and fuck, man. I mean, you have to admit, Calli would be great at metal music. Honestly, like I discovered it by doing it. Like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy how just a little bit of instrumentation, a little bit of music, with a couple of vocal lines can give you another appreciation of the person. Like in the case of the Kali metal breakdown, I think it's gonna show that Calli can do anything she wants to do, really, vocally speaking. And yeah, I remember this comment saying that she would destroy some metal if she wanted, and that's it. that's completely right. I cannot disagree with that statement, honestly. And I like the idea to bring with my music to bring this different version of the all members that we love. You know, showing them in a different light, I think, is the good term. Yeah, and I like that. I like doing that, honestly. More recently, I've been really enjoying making the Cronies breakdown. Kronii, when Kronii gets angry, she gives quite a lot of material for me to use. Like, you know, there is this part of the Holo members that are so memeable in so many ways, and I think Kronii is definitely one of them. Like, really, there is a lot of things to do. I also thought about using her famous flower. I've been thinking of using this one too. It can still happen in the future. Like, I have no restriction about what I want to use as vocal lines material. So yeah, why not in the future? Now about the future of the all metal skits, what I'm thinking is basically, you know, as long as I'm having fun doing it, I'm gonna keep doing it, basically. And that's the thing with me, you know, I'm not driven by um, considerations like, you know, the number of views and the statistics and shit like that. I don't care really about the numbers. What I'm doing, I do it because it's fun for me to do, and that's the thing. The moment where it's not gonna be fun anymore for me to do, I'm probably gonna do something else. You know, yeah, it's as simple as that. Honestly, I I don't have a lot of motives when it comes to making music. I don't think about stuff like what people are gonna think about it, the audience appreciation, even if it is kind of a factor, but it's not something that is only important for me. You know, the first motivation I have is to have fun, and being also one part of this community around all life that is making stuff, you know, being you know, creating some content related to Hololive that allows all of us to just share our passion for Hololive. Basically, that's just what I want to do. It's fun, and it's just us sharing our passion, you know, and our affection for the YOLO members, basically. And yeah, as long as I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna have this passion with me, I think I'm gonna continue to do it, basically. And the day it's not gonna be fun anymore, I'm probably gonna do something else. You know, that's just how I work, basically. So yeah, but for now, I'm still having a lot of fun, you know, considering, you know, all the things that happened. Uh, Hololive still brings me this light that I need in my life. And I think that's the case for a lot of us Hololive enthusiasts out there. Uh, we need some light, and Hololive definitely is bringing some light to us, and that's important. And that's why I want to continue, both to make the Holo Metal skits, and also I want to continue supporting the Holo members. You know, watching the streams, watching the clips, the archives, whatever. You know, everything I can do to support All Alive, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, and that's just how it is. So the the game is not over just yet. I can tell you this.